The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Couple of classic gentlemen here from Wayne County. I can call you all gentlemen, can I?
You can.
I can?
You can.
Okay. and Wade Claxton and Randy Frankson this morning, of course, with the Omaha Cruisers.
Classic Cruisers.
Classic Cruisers. Got to get that classic in there. And y'all have got an event coming up soon, Wade, and tell us all about it.
Okay. Thank you for having us on this morning. We're trying to do something that was done about 20 years ago by the club. When George Udis, a good friend of ours, former president, did the same kind of event at the drive-in theater, and they had a fair amount of success back then when they had a big bunch of their classic car guys back then came out and watched some movies and so on. We tried to expand on that, and we call this the South Georgia and North Florida Cool Rides Jesup Drive-In Theater event. And what we have advantage over them back in those days is that social media has allowed us to do a lot of advertising, just to try to get it in front of a lot of people so that we can have a good turnout. So that's our hope. So on Saturday the 12th, which is like Saturday week.
Yeah, Saturday week coming up soon.
That's right. They're going to open the gates about 2 o'clock. And we're going to start registering people. It's only $5 admission. It's open to the public. And we're going to have a lot of things going on at that time. We're going to have Bo and the Burners.
Saying the Wada?
Sir?
Doing what now?
Bo and the Burners.
Bowing the Burners.
Bo and the
Mowing the Burners.
B-E-A-U.
Bowing the Burners.
Bo and the Burners.
Let me clean my ears out this morning. Bowing the Burners.
Bo and the Burners.
And the Burners.
Bo and the Burners. Rockabilly
Randy's
band.
about to fall out of his chair over there.
No, who's most classic in here after all? Okay. But it's a
Bo and the Burners.
Bo and the Burners. They're a rockabilly band. It's a three-piece.
Randy, you can get off the floor now and sit back up in your seat.
Randy's going to get a turn in just a second. But anyway, Bo and the Burners out of Jacksonville. They're a rockabilly band. They're cool. It's just a three-piece band, and they play old-time rock and roll. They cover.
I see it right now.
Yeah,
Bo, B-E-A-U, Bo and the Burners.
Yeah,
and rockabilly, huh?
Rockabilly, and along with them, they have pinup girls. So they're going to bring their entourage of pinup girls.
Okay.
And they're going to interact with everybody that participates there, take pictures with them, and so on.
And I see they start playing at 3 o'clock.
Start playing at
Saturday,
3 o'clock.
January 12th.
Till about dark.
And they're a trio, and they play 50s through 60s and music and all kinds of good stuff, and rockabilly and
that's right.
Good old stuff.
That's right. We're going to have some vendors and some swap meet. We don't expect a ton of of those kind of things being there since this is our first event. When you do anything the first time, you really don't know what to expect.
Correct.
My personal expectations, if we could meet that of like 100 cool rides, which includes cars, trucks, rat rods, new muscle cars, motorcycles, anything that's cool. Come and participate, pay $5, get in, enjoy all the event. That's a great deal for anybody, So
$5 you get in, and everything starts at 3 o'clock.
Right.
Is that right?
That's right.
With the band playing, with Bo and the Burners, and
That's right.
And then we're going to have the girls there with them, the band, the music, and all that's going to be going on. And then you'll have the classic cars, trucks, motorcycles, all the cool-looking vehicles there also at that time.
All of them. And the general public can come in as well. And we're going to do...
for $5.
$5.
Okay.
That's a great deal.
All right.
We're going to have lots of trophies, best club participation, travel the furthest, best 50s outfit girl, best 50s outfit guy. And we're going to give 18 just cool ride winner trophies. 50-50 drawing, a raffle off a 50s style food tray that sits in the window like it did back in the days in the 50s,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Raffle that off.
They put that big tray on there in Fred Flintstone's car and it flips over.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Anyway, let's see what else. On one of our places we advertise to the Omaha Classic Cruisers Facebook page. Randy's wife Joyce manages that for us. She has a lot of interest there. I did it through my Red Barn, through Instagram, and so on. One of our sites had 1,300 people interested. So I think it's going to be kind of big. The Southeast Regional Car Council has it on their calendar.
Okay. It's all coming up on January 12th.
Right. And the movies has not been nailed down specifically, but we're going to have a car movie on the front and a car movie on the back. So that's all
I
part
saw
of the
that.
package.
You got 2 classic car movies,
Actually,
and 2 modern car movies will play on the Jesup Drive-In's twin screens beginning around 5:30.
Well, actually, it'll be later.
Yeah, it will be later. But 5:30 is still probably about 6 at least.
Yeah.
The days are getting
Randy?
longer.
Yeah, the days are getting longer. So, sunset right now is at 5:37. So by the time that comes around, it's probably going to be around 5:50, maybe close to there. So movies will probably start.
Well, they
closer
actually
to 6:30.
Normally they start at 7.
Yeah, so it would be at least 6:30 before it can start.
Yeah, I'm going to ask them to start a little earlier than normal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, probably around 6:30.
But we are going to have. They have had to modify it a little bit, but we are going to have at least an old car movie on the front and a newer car movie on the back. At least one.
At least one.
At least one. Yeah.
Okay. So what would y'all consider an old classic car movie?
There are a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
2-Lane Blacktop is an old
Bullet.
movie. Bullet is an old movie.
Smokey and the Bandit, of course, Randy.
Smokey and the Bandit. That's in the 70s.
That.
Yeah.
That's Randy's.
Yeah, that's Randy because he got one of them Trans Ams, those black ones.
He does, and a red. He's got a red newer one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Randy, go
Where'd
ahead.
you get that one, Randy?
Throw something out there, bud.
I have a 99 Trans Am Firehawk. I've had it since 2012, I think.
Oh, okay.
We bought it because we travel a lot and we wanted to have a fuel-injected, later model
It's a
car.
lot more efficient than the gas mileage.
Yeah, it's a nice car. It's a low-miles car, too. So
Okay.
we've enjoyed having that car as well.
One thing I want to throw in because I want to make sure I don't overlook this is that we have a co-sponsor, R&R Auto and Camper Sales, Ray Moore, and they've allowed us to give these trophies away, a lot of these trophies away that we otherwise wouldn't have.
Okay.
So they support us in our big show. Our big show's coming up in April, the 4th Saturday in April this year, and they support us in that as well. So they're big sponsors of ours. We thank Jamie and Ralph Hickox. We're also supporting a Fairhaven event down there. They're going to be in tomorrow here talking about that. Fairhaven is, I believe.
Okay.
And we're supporting them with cars for that event too. So we try to stay involved with the community and keep this old car culture moving along.
Okay, admission is $5 on this, and they get all the entertainment with band and get to see the classic cars and the competition, all that with that. Now, if that $5, does that include the movies?
Yes,
that'll
it
start
does.
about 6:30.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Now, will people who don't know about this, who drive up to see a movie, what will happen with them? I mean,
it's open to the public.
Okay, they can come in just for the movie.
They can come in just for the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly
All right.
can.
Okay, and so that's going to be very good. You got all around classic cars. Sometimes when I go over to my dad's house, he's got those car auctions on his TV there.
Miko and
it's just amazing what the price of some of these vehicles would go for. You know, if you think about that 69 Camaro I had, I traded in a Datsun B210.
Yeah.
Who would have thought I could have got a lot of money for it today,
Exactly.
Who would have thunk that kind of stuff way back then,
Yeah, we've all had a lot that got away from us, but at the time
we didn't
they
think
were
about it.
Just a ride.
Just a ride.
Just a ride.
I think it'd be a classic one day.
Exactly.
And those are some beautiful vehicles that go across those the floor there on those auctions.
They are. They're
absolutely gorgeous.
I think this will be a fun day. I'm looking forward to the dress up contest.
So you'll come looking like in the 50s there, Randy?
Yeah, I have to Google
Wade
it.
looks like that almost every day. I mean, Wade looks like he's from the 50s all the time, so he doesn't have to dress up.
That's right.
All right?
Yeah, Butch and I'll have to Google it to see what the 50s at.
I was born in 54, so I was just a youngster then, So
that's right.
I was a little toddler up to about 6 years old when the 50s were around.
Yeah.
Hey, let Randy tell you about his outfit when they do the Smokey and the Bandit run about at least twice a year. He and Joyce and a bunch of their friends, and tell him about. You can wear that outfit, Randy. Tell us
I
about
do the snowman look-alike, and first year I participated was in Texarkana, Texas, and actually won the contest.
Jerry Reed?
Look like Jerry
Yeah, I
Reed.
look like Jerry
Reed,
Reed.
yeah, I can see that.
He grows the sideburns.
Drove the sideburns,
Joyce said, "You should dress up like the Bandit." And I said, "I don't think so. I might have to have a large wig and a mustache and all this stuff.
Yeah. You look more, like Jerry Reed than you would Burt Reynolds. I watched the second longest yard a few days ago. It was one of those super duper discount movies you get at one of the discount stores here, and Burt Reynolds was in that as an old time inmate. And Adam Sandler was basically the new quarterback that came in that got in trouble. And it was interesting watching that movie. They always have those commentaries after the movie that you can listen to and read. And they came to Burt Reynolds and asked him if he'd want to be in the new longest yard. He says, long as it's just not a cameo appearance. So he had a lot of scenes in there. And then where you see him score that touchdown there at the end, that's actually him getting that hard. It hit over. He didn't use a stunt double. That hit that hard. Now, I'm not sure if y'all seen it, but he goes up in the air and a defender hits him, and he twists up in the air and falls just over the goal line there, and that is him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did a lot of his own stunts, and he paid the price later on because he had a lot of back trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's amazing how a movie like that, and then the follow-up movie became classics because they weren't the highest rated with the film critics back then, but who cares about them? That's just good old popcorn fun watching those movies,
Exactly.
But this is a great event. We got Wade Claxton in here and Randy Franks from the Omaha Classic Cruisers. They got a huge event coming up at the Jesup Drive-In on January 12th, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The public is invited for $5, only $5. You get to hear and possibly dance. You're going to have dance to Bo and the Burners, Rockabilly Trio playing 50s and 60s. They're going to have the Car Girls there. It's amazing how all these car shows, you got the car girls who show the cars, and then, of course, you'll have all that going on. Plus, the main event is all the cool cars, trucks, motorcycles are going to be there. Just great stuff. And then you're going to have movie showing, old classic car movie on one screen and a new car movie on one screen.
Too. Yes.
I'd like to say, too, this is called the cool rides, and late model cars and new cars or whatever. These late model muscle cars.
Those are cool cars. That's the reason when you're saying cool cars, just not classic.
You don't have to have a classic to come to this event, and I hope we'll have a good mix of cars.
There's a big contingent of cool rides. The newer muscle cars out of Hinesville, Mustangs and the Plymouth Dodges with the 392 Hemis. There's at least, 6 or 8 or 10 car clubs in Hinesville alone.
Yeah, it's kind of like the rebirth sort of in the last several years of the muscle cars like we had back in the late 60s and early 70s. And you've got, Ford and GM and Chrysler kind of cutting back and not going to start making their sedans. Chevrolet's not going to make the Impala anymore, which is one of the highest rated cars out there. Because the demand is for trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars.
Exactly.
And so they're putting more effort into those.
Where the sales are.
Yeah,
That's where the sales are.
We do have our cruise in this Saturday. What is that, the 5th?
The 5th, yeah.
The 5th.
Yeah, we start at 5:30 at Hardee's, and we've been having a really good turnout. 45, 55 cars and trucks.
Okay, so the regular cruise in that y'all have each month is going to be at Hardee's this Saturday at 5:30. Okay, but the big event we're talking about is the South Georgia, North Florida Cool Ride event there at the Jesup Drive-In Theater on Saturday, January 12th, Saturday week, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's going to be a lot of fun for just $5.
It is. The band starts at 3. They're going to open the gate at 2 so folks can start coming in and get positioned and all that, and everything will be set up.
Yeah.
Go.
Sounds fun, guys.
Sounds cool.
Whose idea was this?
Kind of mine, I think.
Kind of yours, Wade?
Yeah. I'm kind of always thinking about this kind of stuff.
You were thinking?
Yeah. We always want to promote our club, of course, because there's been a real resurgence in interest because there's every weekend there are car shows everywhere every weekend, anywhere you want to go.
Wade has spent a lot of time on this, and I think we're going to have a good turnout, and I hope the public will come out and be part of it too.
Oh, it sounds like fun.
Yeah,
we really would like to have y'all back on again next week sometime. It really would, to kind of give people an update, and because by then you might know what the movies are. There might be some more people that are committed to with their cars and trucks and motorcycles and all that kind of good stuff. And so we'd really like to have you all in next week to give an update on it.
You know, there's only 257 spots out there to view the movies. 257. So
257.
that's all.
Okay.
I counted every one of them.
All right.
So come get one.
You did. You went out there and counted each one.
I did, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Now, is that really a spot right there, or is that just where you...
It's going to be fun.
He didn't take Ralph's word for it. He went out there and counted.
Let me tell you, Ralph is busy demoing and setting up that new restaurant next to the theater. He's in there from daylight to dark, busting walls out and doing all that kind of stuff. So you can ask Ralph a question, and he'll text me back, and he'll say yes, or he'll say no.
Okay, well, he must be busy if he's only giving one-word responses.
Yeah.
Wade Claxton and Randy Frankson here from the Omaha Classic Cruisers talking about their big event coming up at the Jesup Drive-In on the Savannah Highway here in Jesup, beginning at 3 o'clock on Saturday, January 12th.
Thank you.
With all kinds of activities. And, guys, y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir.
We'd really like to have y'all back on again next week, all right?
We'll come. As my friend says, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right. Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM in Jesup. More of the world-famous Butch and Bob show in a moment.
Good morning, everyone. We begin with a mix of clouds for this Wednesday. Farther northward today, we're going to hold on to a very slight chance of a shower. Temperatures climbing close to 70. A little farther southward, we'll have more sunshine with highs in the low 70s. Still a few spotty showers northward on Thursday, but by Thursday night, we're all getting cloudy with showers on Friday for everyone, even a couple of thunderstorms, highs low 70s. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. Classic Cruise. That sounds like a great event, doesn't it, Bob?
Yep. Sounds like, you can't beat it. $5.
Yep.
That's a pretty good price.
You know, when I was growing up, which, I turned 16 in 1970, and so, I was around, muscle cars all the time. I had a Camaro and just enjoyed that time period. And then as the 70s rolled on, the muscle cars kind of faded out a little bit because of the oil embargo and all that kind of stuff. But we've seen a resurgence in the last 5 years of the muscle cars. Maybe not as much here in the rural area of South Georgia, but in areas like Atlanta, Jacksonville, and New York City, the big towns, the medium, the bigger and bigger cities, the kids these days, some of them don't get their driver's license till they're 17 or 18. They're not really interested in vehicles like it was when you and I were growing up. They'd rather electronics and things of that sort are a lot more important to them than getting that nice vehicle and looking cool in it. Now, I can't say that here in South Georgia. There's still a lot of kids out there who enjoy that. But it's good to see that the classic cars and trucks and other vehicles of that sort are being kept alive by these by all these chapters out there, these classic cruisers chapters out there, to keep these vehicles in the forefront.
Like Wade mentioned, there's a show every weekend somewhere. Right.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, the Classic Cruisers does theirs once a month at Hardee's here, and they'll have theirs here Saturday at 5:30. But then every so often, there's real big events like this one right here that they're going to have on Saturday, January 12th. Well, Bob, I did go to the internet, because the internet is your friend, as Jonathan says, and saw the continuous loop of the steer of Texas. What's his name?
Devo.
Devo? Oh, I thought it was a B. Okay.
It may be B.
Bevo, whatever his name was.
The big, it's a D, though.
Okay, the big steer of their mascot for Texas lowered his head, going through his restraints there, the little gate they had there, not much of a gate. You can see the handler for Uga bring Uga up and sit him down right in front of the steer, actually push his rear end down and have it where Uga's looking up at the steer, and the steer didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Well, it is Bevo. It's Bevo.
Bevo, okay.
With a B.
And I wasn't for sure. I watched that several times. That's about the quickest I've ever seen an English Bulldog move. I mean, he turned and took off, and the handler had to keep up with him. And it was so interesting watching it like that, because they showed a picture from the previous day with Uga just sitting right outside of a gate area there, where like a big trailer that the steer was brought in, but it's wide and open, and there's just one steel bar that went across it, and they're sitting there together just fine. And so what happened to that steer? I don't know if it was the crowd, the excitement, or whatever. But the day before that, they were like, just chilling together. Saying, well, we got a job to do. Got to represent our universities here. But then that reminded me of the event that happened in 1996 when Georgia was playing Auburn, and you had Uga 5 out there, and the Auburn player caught that touchdown pass, and then he went up to Uga and put the ball down in front of his face, and Uga 5 he wasn't putting up with it. He jumped up, and now let me tell you one thing. If that handler hadn't have been there and pulled Uga 5 back, them big jaws would have been around that Auburn player's leg. I watched that video over and over again. So it would have been interesting to see what Uga 5 would have done in that situation, because if you get a bulldog get his jaws around a steer's face, really what they like to do is to go up under and get at the throat. What would have happened if that had happened to Uga 5? Now, Uga 10, this is Uga 10 now. Uga 10 decided to turn tail and run, which I don't blame him. If I haven't got a big steer coming at me with them horns, I'm getting heck out of Dodge. But it would have been interesting to see what Uga 5 would have done. Because Uga 5 did not back down when that big football player was coming right at him and putting that football right down his face. He just, watch that video again. I mean, Uga 5, he's got a vertical leap like I don't know what, going way up there to try to get to that Auburn football player. Just one of those classic Georgia moments, But PETA come along saying that, let me tell you, folks, they probably are no better treated animals on the face of the earth, better taken care of, better loved, better handled than anything else than the mascots for universities. Uga's got it made. Got his air-conditioned doghouse. The best food that you can eat. He's adored by thousands and thousands and thousands of Georgia fans. He's got Easy Street, I guarantee, just like the steer for Texas, or the hound dog for Tennessee, and other mascots like that. So for PETA to come out there and say, "Oh, this is not good for the animals," hey, if Uga could talk, he'd say, "Shut up! I got life made."
It's just in that politically correct world, but. And whatever. I said, it's just an unfortunate incident. I said, it was done. Somebody said it best. It was just a dumb idea to try to get the two animals together for,
Well, like I said, the day before they were next to each other, nothing happened. Now, the steer could not have gotten to Uga because there was this big steel bar across the big wide trailer there. But Uga's just sitting right, you can see the picture. He's just sitting right there in front of them. It's like both of them are posing for the picture, but both looking in the camera. Uga's just sitting there several feet in front of the steer, and they're just both looking at the camera like, all right, we're just doing our job here. And but the steer just he was a little upset. And he was still a little upset after that. You can see the handlers handled him. I think he didn't want to have anything to do with it.
I was trying to think if the steer is bigger than the buffalo. I told that story the other day. That was still the funniest thing I ever saw was that Colorado came to Athens and they brought the buffalo, and those guys, they weren't really handling the buffalo. The buffalo's kind of handling them. They're holding on, but they're holding on for dear life. And the buffalo's running around, and everybody was scattering to make sure they were out of their path of the buffalo. So,
that steer is huge, and we got two people on each side. You got one person on each side. You couldn't. If that steer really wanted to take off, he'd take off. I mean, 2, 3, 4 people aren't going to stop him. Now, what would have been interesting, I was talking to my dad about this last night, and of course, it was interesting if you go to Wikipedia and read about the history of Uga. It started in 1956 when what's the attorney Silas?
Sonny Silas.
Yeah, Silas, when that family brought an English bulldog to the game, and the Wally Butts was the head coach back then, and said, "Oh, can you continue to bring that?" And that's how the English bulldog mascot became part of that, because we say bulldog. There's all kinds of bulldogs. The English bulldog. Now imagine if the mascot bulldog for University of Georgia. What if Silas would have brought a pit bull? Okay. Now there's a lot of folks here in the Wayne County area that raise these pit bulls to go out there and hunt and take down these big old hogs running out there in the swamp. Now, if you get a pit bull, it would have been interesting to see what happened if that steer would have gone down to a big old pit bull and see what would have happened. But that was a very interesting event at that ball game. You could just see I saw 3 different angles, from one angle, one other angle, but it was just amazing to see how fast that little dog could run. He took off, and he wouldn't have anything to do with that steer. Not a thing, but very, very, very interesting. But as you mentioned in sports, the national championship game is Monday, Clemson, Alabama. You got a feeling on that game, Bob?
It's hard to go against Nick Saban in Alabama, but Clemson's very talented, so it'll be interesting. 2 good quarterbacks going at it, but I still say Bama finds a way to win. Saban wins another championship, breaks that record, and he's tied with the Bear. Got a chance to break the Bears record, and I said, looking at since 2009, they've been on a roll with Saban.
Yeah.
2000, ran it over in sports today, but they are just, they won 5 of the last 7. Something like that.
Yeah, they've had a good run with Nick Saban there, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Last time these two played for a national championship, Clemson came back at the end of the game and won that, and you've got 2 undefeated teams. I think that a lot of people don't figure that maybe we didn't have the best teams in the 2 Notre Dame and
Bama's got a title in 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015, 2017.
All right.
That's 5 of the last
7
years.
Yeah,
so
it's quite a few there. And the talk, we need to go to 6 teams, we need to go to 8 teams in the playoffs and things of that sort. But I think everybody agrees, the 2 best teams are out there. Both undefeated, both.
Halfway through the
that
season,
done well all season.
Dabo said there's Bam and everybody else. So he's just glad to be in with the rest of everybody else. So we'll see how it plays out Monday night. But I'm sure Clemson's going to give it a great effort. It'll be a great game. It'll come down to what most games come down to: who doesn't turn it over, who has the least mistakes,
right?
No injuries. Tua's ankle looks like it's pretty healed up.
Did your team have any star players sitting out because of being drafted and don't want to get hurt?
On the championship game.
Okay. I didn't know.
But that's it. Hard to go against Alabama.
Okay.
Just, odds makers like Alabama. So if Tua plays like Tua is capable of playing, Bama's defense shows up, I say Alabama winning.
Well, that's the reason why they play it on the field. Let's see what happens on Monday night, Bob. You have a great day. All right, world-famous Butch and Bob show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Murphy Builder Supply on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jesup. Also brought to you by the Women's Health Center in downtown Jesup on Cherry at Broad, and by Wolf Animal Hospital, located on West Cherry Street.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.